Good morning, students. Welcome back to English class.
Students, today we are going to see a new chapter in grammar, that is chapter number 21, kinds of sentences. All of you be ready with your grammar book. Okay, students, let us see about sentences. What do you mean by sentence? A sentence is a group of words that make complete sense. What do you mean by sentence? A sentence is a group of words. That means when we combine the words or when we group the words together, it will give a complete and meaningful sentence. What is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words that make complete and meaningful sentence. And a sentence always starts with a capital letter. The first letter should be in capital and ends with some punctuation marks like full stop, question mark or exclamation mark. And one more thing, a sentence must contain one subject and one verb. A sentence must contain a subject and a verb. Students, what do you mean by subject? Already we have learned about subject and verb in the previous sessions. Yes, a subject is a thing or a person. Then what about verb? Verb is an action word. Students, just keep it in your mind. A sentence is a group of words. A sentence is a group of words that makes a complete and meaningful sentence. And it starts with a capital letter and ends with some punctuation marks like a full stop, question mark or exclamation mark. And it has a subject and a verb. Okay, students, let us see some examples here. Look at the first one. Maria is a good girl. It is a normal sentence because it started with a capital letter and ended with a full stop. Let's move to the next one. Have you finished your lunch? This is a question, okay? And this is also started with a capital letter and ended with a question mark. And the last example, how sweet she is. Look at the sentence, started with capital letter and ended with an exclamation mark. Students, again I'm repeating, a sentence is a group of words which makes the sentence meaningful. It starts with a capital letter and it ends with the punctuation marks like a full stop, exclamation mark or a question mark. And it has one subject and it has a subject and a verb. Okay, students, now we are going to see types of sentences. Types of sentences or kinds of sentences. The four main types of sentences are declarative, interrogative, exclamatory, imperative. How many types are there? Students, how many types are there? Four main types of sentences are there. They are declarative sentence, interrogative sentence, exclamatory sentence and imperative sentence. Students, let us see the first type, that is declarative sentences in detail. We can say declarative or assertive sentences. What do you mean by declarative sentence? It tells us something or gives some information. What do you mean by declarative sentence? Declarative sentence simply expresses an opinion or it makes a statement. Simply we can say that it declares something. It gives some information. Okay. And next point, end of the sentence. At the end of a sentence, we put a full stop. Full stop. Otherwise, we can say that period. End of the statement, we should put a full stop. And one more thing, it is also known as assertive sentences or declarative sentences or statements. Three names are there: assertive or declarative or statements. Students, what do you mean by declarative sentence? A declarative sentence tells us something or gives some information. It means it expresses an opinion or it makes a statement or it declares something. End of the sentence, we should put a full stop or period. And one more thing, three names are there. One is assertive sentence or declarative sentence or statements. Okay, let us see some examples here. Look at the first one. Alex is a good leader. Alex is a good leader. It is a sentence started with capital letter and ended with a full stop. And it is an assertive sentence. It means it tells us. This sentence tells us something about Alex, that Alex is a good leader. Let us move to the next one. Parrot is a beautiful bird. This is also assertive sentence. It is an example for assertive sentence that it gives some information about parrot, that it is a beautiful bird, and the first letter should be in capital, and end of the statement we have to put full stop. Students, what do you mean by assertive sentences? Assertive sentences tell us something or give some information. End of the sentence we put a full stop. Assertive sentences also known as declarative sentence or statements. Students, affirmative sentences can be either positive or negative. Let us see the first one, that is positive sentences. We can say positive or affirmative. These positive sentences give positive information. It means a sentence which does not have words like no or not. It is a positive sentences. What do you mean by positive sentence? A positive sentence which does not have words like no or not. It gives only positive information. Let us see some examples here. I like to eat fruits. I like to eat fruits. She will listen to me. She will listen to me. Both examples of positive sentences. Let us move to the next one, that is negative sentences. Negative sentences inform that something is false or something is incorrect. And it means if a sentence which has words like no or not, it is a negative sentences. Negative sentences which has words like no or not. For example, I do not like to eat fruits. I do not like to eat fruits. The keyword is not. She will not listen to me. The keyword is not. She will not listen to me. Students, the keyword not. If a sentence which has keywords like no or not, it is a negative sentences. If a sentence which does not have keywords like no or not, it is a positive sentence. Students, now we are going to see the second type, that is interrogative sentence. Okay, what do you mean by interrogative sentence? What do you mean by interrogative sentence? Interrogative sentences ask questions. Interrogative sentences ask questions. For example, if you want to ask a question to someone, you can choose an interrogative sentence. For example, what is your name? Where are you going? What are you doing? These are the examples for interrogative sentences. Okay, let's move to the second point, question mark. End of the statement, we put a question mark. In assertive sentence, we put a full stop. In interrogative sentence, at the end of the statement, we have to put a question mark. Let's move to the next point. Some interrogative words are there. They are which, what, when, where, why, whose, and how. These are interrogative words. And one more thing, many interrogative sentences start with interrogative words like which, what, when, where, why. But remaining interrogative sentences are there. They are yes or no questions that always begin with the verb instead of the noun. Students, just remember that some interrogative sentences start with interrogative words like when, what, where, etc. But remaining interrogative sentences are also there. They are yes or no questions that always begin with the verb instead of the noun. Let us see some examples here. What are you doing? Look at the first letter. The first letter should be in capital, and end of the statement put a question mark. Where are you going? The first letter should be in capital, and end of the statement we put a question mark. These two examples start with the interrogative words like what and where. Look at the third example. Is Meera sick today? Is Meera sick today? Actually, the third example is a yes or no question. We can answer either yes or no. It always already said that yes or no question always start with the verb. Look at the given example. The third example, the interrogative sentence. The third interrogative example started with the verb is. Students, once again I am repeating, interrogative sentences ask questions, and at the end of the sentence we put a question mark. And one more thing, many sentences start with interrogative words like which, what, when, etc. And yes or no questions are also there. That questions begin with the verb. Okay students, now we are going to see the third type, that is imperative sentence. What do you mean by imperative sentence? Imperative sentence is used to make a request, command or advice. What do you mean by imperative sentence? It is used to make a request, command or advice. Simply we can say that it tells someone to do something in the form of advice, commands or request. Imperative sentences tell someone to do something in the form of advice, commands or request. Okay students, let us see some examples. Look at the first one. Please help me. So it is an example of request. If we need something from someone, we have to request them. For example, please, excuse me. These are the keywords. Let's move to the second example. You should obey your elders. You should obey your elders. It is an example of that advice. Okay. Let's move to the third one. Stay away from the door. Stay away from the door. It is a command. And one more thing students, already we said that a sentence needs at least one subject and one verb. But in imperative sentences, sometimes the subject of a sentence can be hidden, but the verb must be visible and present in the sentence. Okay students, look at the third one. The subject is hidden. The subject of this sentence can be hidden. So in this sentence the subject is you. If the subject is hidden, it means the subject is you. Students, once again I am repeating, imperative sentences tell someone to do something in the form of advice, commands or request. And already we know that a sentence needs one subject and one verb. But in imperative sentence, sometimes the subject can be hidden and the verb must be present. On the time the subject is you. Okay students, now we are going to see the last type, that is exclamatory sentence. What do you mean by exclamatory sentence? It is used to show a strong feeling of surprise, sadness or happiness. What do you mean by exclamatory sentence? Students, exclamatory sentences are like a declarative sentence. Declarative means that a normal statement. But the main purpose of exclamatory sentence is to express strong emotion or feeling like a surprise, sadness or happiness. We can easily recognize the exclamatory sentence because at the end of the statement it will end in an exclamation point instead of a full stop or question mark. Okay students, what do you mean by exclamatory sentence? Exclamatory sentences are normal statements, but The main purpose is to express strong feeling like surprise, sadness, or happiness, and they end in an exclamation point. Okay, let us see some examples here. What a beautiful flower! What a beautiful flower! So, students, at the end of the statement, we put an exclamation point because it expresses that strong feeling. Let's move to the second example. How lovely she is. Uh, how lovely she is. So we can easily recognize because they end in an exclamation point. Okay, students, now we are going to do the exercise. Before going to do the main exercise, let's do a small warm up activity. Let's get started. Look here, tick the correct option. Students, two options are given in each sentence. You have to tick the correct option. Let us see the first one. Close the door. Close the door. Options are this sentence is an order. This is a question. Okay, students, which one is correct? Which option is correct? Close the door. It is not a question. So it is an order. So students, tick on the option A. Look here, beside the option A small box is given. You have to put a tick mark. You put a tick mark inside the box. Let's move to the second one. What a tall tree! Two options are given. This sentence shows surprise. This is a question. Okay, students, for example, if you're suddenly if you're seeing a tall tree, how can you express your feeling? How do you express your emotion? Definitely, we can say like what a tall tree! I never seen like this tree. Definitely, we can express our feel. So, students, this is not a question. And one more thing, end of the statement, they put an exclamation point. So, tick on the option A. Let's move to the third one. Did you get hurt? Options are this sentence shows surprise. This is a question. So, students, I know already you found the answer. Sure, this is the it is a question because started with the verb and ended with a question mark. So, students, tick on the option B. Let's move to the fourth one. I study in class 4. I study in class 4. Options are this sentence is an order. This sentence tells us something. Okay, students, it is not an order. This sentence tells us something and it is a normal statement started from starts that the letter I. It started with capital letter and ended with normal full stop. So this sentence tells us something. Tick on the option B. Students, now we have completed warm up exercise. Okay, students, now we are going to do the first exercise, that is change the negative sentences to positive and the positive sentences to negative. Students, in this exercise 10 sentences are given. Some are positive sentences and some are negative sentences. If the sentence is positive, we have to change that positive to negative. If the sentence is negative, we have to change that negative to positive. Okay, let us do the first one. I like to eat grapes. First of all, before writing the answer, we have to find out the sentence whether it is positive or negative. The first sentence is a positive sentence because already I said that a sentence which doesn't have words like no or not, it is a positive sentence. So the first one is positive. Now we have to change this positive to negative by using the keyword not. So the answer is I do not like to eat grapes. Let's move to the second one. Kala is a lazy dog. Kala is a lazy dog. and it is also a positive sentence. Now we have to change this sentence into negative by adding keyword not. Okay, the answer is Kala is not a lazy dog. Kala is not a lazy dog. Let's move to the third one. It was not raining in the morning. It is a negative sentence because keyword not is present. So it is a negative sentence. Now we have to change this negative into positive by removing the keyword not. It was raining in the morning. Let's move to the fourth one. David, Anuj and Karthik go swimming in the morning. So students, is it positive or negative? Yes, it is a positive sentence. Now what we have to do? We have to make this sentence into negative by adding the keyword not. So David, Anuj and Karthik did not go swimming in the morning. Okay, let's move to the fifth one. Are you going to school tomorrow? Yes, actually it's a question and it is a positive sentence also. Now we have to change the sentence to negative by adding the keyword not. So students, look at the first in this sentence we have given the verb. So after the verb we have to insert the negative keyword not. Aren't you going to school tomorrow? Students, remaining 5 sentences are there. You should try, then you can easily understand. Okay students, now we are going to do the second exercise, that is put the correct punctuation mark after each sentence and state its kind. Students, some sentences are there without correct punctuation mark and we have to put the correct punctuation mark and write its kind. Okay, let us see the first one. Whose cat is this? We know that it is a question. So because it started with the interrogative word and end of the statement, what we have to put, which punctuation mark, full stop or exclamation point or question mark, which one we have to put at the end? Yes, you are right, that is question mark. So students, in the first sentence one box and empty line is given. So inside the box we have to put the punctuation mark. So which is the correct for the first one? Question mark. So inside the box put a question mark and write its kind. So what kind of sentence is this? It's an interrogative sentence. So write the answer as interrogative. Let's move to the second one. Is this your bag or mine? So it is also question. So end of the statement we have to put a question mark and this is a yes or no question because it started with the verb. Inside the box put a question mark and write the answer as interrogative because it is a interrogative sentence. Let's move to the third one. All that glitters is not gold. Is it question? No. Is it imperative sentence? No. Is it exclamatory sentence? No. It is an assertive sentence because it tells us something and started with the capital letter and end of the statement we put a full stop. Students, inside the box put a full stop and write the answer as assertive. Assertive or declarative. Let's move to the fourth one. Whose team won the trophy? So it's this sentence started with the interrogative word. So obviously it is a question. Inside the box, which symbol, which punctuation mark we have to put? It's a question mark and write the answer as interrogative. Students, remaining 4 are there. You can read the lines properly and then answer. Okay students, now we are going to see how to form yes or no questions. Students, already we know that many interrogative sentences start with interrogative words like what, when, where, why, etc. But remaining sentences are yes or no questions that always begin with the verb. Instead of noun, they always start with the verb. Now we are going to see how to form yes or no questions. Students, if we are seeing a sentence with verbs like is, am, are, was, were, and can, could, may, will, would, we move the verb before the subject. It means we have to change the position of subject and the verb. Okay, let us see some examples, then you can easily understand. Look at the first one. We are going to school today. It is a normal sentence. Now we are going to see. Now we are going how to form yes or no question from the given sentence. Students, okay. First of all, find out the subject and verb. Subject is we. Verb is are. Just change the position of this subject and verb. Look here. Are we going to school today? Question mark. Let us move to the second one. He is my friend. Find out the subject and verb. Subject is he. Verb is. Now form the yes or no question. Is he my friend? Question mark. Let's move to the third one. She won't help me. What is the subject and verb? Subject is she. Verb is won't. Just change the positions of the subject and verb. Won't she help me? Question mark. Let's move to the fourth example. Rama was crying. What is the subject and verb? Rama is the subject and the verb is was. Now change the positions of subject and verb. Was Rama crying? Question mark. Let's move to the third one, fifth one. They could reach on time. What is the subject? They. And verb? Could. Change the positions. Could they reach on time? Question mark. Students, now we formed yes or no questions. Students, now we are going to see how to form questions using do or does or did. Students, if any sentences with the action verbs like walk, eat, play, we have to add do, does or did at the beginning of the sentence. Do or does for simple present and did for past tense. Okay students, let us see some examples here. They run in the field. This sentence is in its simple form. Okay, run is the verb. Run is the action verb. What I said, do or does for simple present form. So we have to add either do or does. But when the subject is in third person, when we are using third person as subject, we have to add does. When we are using subject as first person or second person, we should add do. In the first example, it is not third person. Okay, so that's why we added do. Do they run in the field. The verb run is in its simple form. Do they run in the field. End of the statement, put a question mark. And this is applicable for have or had. Okay. Okay, let us see an example here. Shweta has many pencils. Shweta has many pencils. Look here, Shweta is a third person singular. So what we have to do? Do or does? Yes, you're right. Does. Does Shweta has changed into have. Does Shweta have many pencils? End of the statement. Put a question mark. Okay students, now we are going to do the third exercise, that is form a yes or no question with each of the sentences. Remember to add a question mark. Students, actually now we are going to form a yes or no question with each of the sentences. Notice that add a question mark at the end of the sentence. Let us do the first one. This pen is yours. This pen is yours. Now how to form yes or no question? Yes, already I said that move the verb before the subject. Okay, first of all find out the verb. What is verb in the first sentence? Yes, you're right. Verb is. So move the verb to the subject. Move the verb before the subject. Is this pen yours? Question mark. The first letter should be in capital End of the statement, put a question mark. Is this pen yours? Question mark. Let's move to the second one. She will go to New Delhi tomorrow. She will go to New Delhi tomorrow. Okay. What is verb in the second sentence? That helping verb or yes, that is will. So just move the position of verb before the subject. Will she go to New Delhi tomorrow? Question mark. Let's move to the third one. Dhanush is coming home tonight. So students, what we have to do now? Yes, move the verb before the subject. Verb is is. Is Dhanush coming home tonight? Question mark. First letter should be in capital. End of the sentence. Remember to add a question mark. And the fourth one, David was playing badminton yesterday. So students, what is the answer? Yes, was David playing badminton yesterday? End of the statement, put a question mark. Let's move to the fifth one. Nandini is singing as sweetly as a cuckoo. So students, change the positions of subject and the verb. Is Nandini singing as sweetly as a cuckoo? End of the statement, put a question mark. Let's see the sixth one. You have been to Agra many times. So students, change the positions of the subject and the verb. Have you been to Agra many times? Question mark. Students, just you have to move the verb before the subject. Then it will form a yes or no question, and end of the statement, put a question mark. Remaining 6 are there. You should practice. Okay students, now we are going to do the fourth exercise, that is read the sentences and write whether they are assertive, interrogative, exclamatory or imperative. Students, first of all, read the sentences properly and write write its kind. Okay, if it is assertive, you have to write the letter A. If it is interrogative, write the letter I. If it is exclamatory, write the letter E. If it is imperative, write I am. Okay, let us see the first one. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Students, what kind of sentence is this? What type? Look at the first one. Look at the first word. It is an interrogative word. End of the statement, question mark is there. So it is an interrogative. You can write the word, or otherwise you can write the letter I. Let's move to the second one. How many pets does Radha have? Okay students, and I think you found the answer, because it started with the interrogative word and ended with a question mark. So it is also interrogative. You can write the full word, or simply you can write the letter I. Let's move to the third one. Do not pluck flowers from the garden. Do not pluck flowers from the garden. So students, what kind of sentence is this? Is it assertive? No. Is it interrogative? No. Is it exclamatory? No. Is it imperative? Yes. Is it imperative only? Because it is a command. Do not pluck flowers from the garden. So write answer as imperative or I am. Okay students, let's move to the fourth one. Neil Armstrong was the first man to walk on the moon. Neil Armstrong was the first man to walk on the moon. Okay students, what is the answer? What kind of sentence is this? Yes, because this sentence tells us something about Neil Armstrong. So it is an assertive. So write the answer as assertive or letter A. Remaining sentences are there. You should practice. Then only you can easily understand this concept.
Students, in this chapter also we have an interesting activity for you, that is rewrite the sentences according to the instructions. Students, 12 sentences are given. In each sentence they have given some instruction. According to the given instruction,
we want to rewrite the sentence. Let us see the first one. The birds are chirping on the trees. The given instruction is change to interrogative. Interrogative means to make a yes or no question. Okay, already we learned that if we want to form a yes or no question, we have to move the verb before the subject. In the given first sentence, what is subject and verb? Yes, the verb is are. So we have to move the verb before the subject. Or the birds chirping on the trees? Put a question mark. Yes. Let's move to the second one. You should fight with your friends. You should fight with your friends. Okay, the given instruction is change to negative. Negative means we have to add the keyword not in the given sentence. After verb, we have to insert the keyword not. You should not fight with your friends. Put a full stop. Let's move to the third one. The zebra is Sita's favorite animal. The zebra is Sita's favorite animal. Change to interrogative. Interrogative means to make a question. So what we have done to the first one, we moved a verb before the subject. The same thing we are going to do for third one also. Is the zebra Sita's favorite animal? The verb is. Is the zebra Sita's favorite animal? Put a question mark. Let's move to the fourth one. Priya and Swayam play chess. Change to interrogative. Already we learned that for sentences with action verbs like any action verb like walk, eat, play, we have to add do, does or did. We have seen it in previous section. So here the verb is play. What we have to add before the subject? Do Priyam and Swayam play chess? Put a question mark. Let's move to the fifth one. Tim is a lazy boy. Change to negative. Negative means simple. Add the keyword not after the verb. Tim is not a lazy boy. Students, remaining 7 are there. You should practice in your grammar book. Write neatly and clearly. Students, now we came to an end. That means recap corner. Today we have seen a new chapter in grammar, that is kinds of sentences. Okay, what do you mean by sentence? A sentence is a group of words that make a complete and meaningful sentence. It starts with a capital letter and ends with some punctuation marks like a question mark, full stop or exclamation mark. And one more thing, a sentence requires one subject and one verb. The 4 main kinds of sentences are assertive or declarative sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence and exclamatory sentence. Assertive sentence that expresses an opinion, feeling, or it declares something. Okay, it declares information or to answer a question. So it can be either positive or negative. And next type is interrogative. Interrogative sentences ask questions. If you want to ask a question to someone, you can use interrogative sentence. Let's move to the next thing. Exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentence, what do you mean by exclamatory sentence? It is like a normal sentence, but the main purpose is to express strong emotion or a feeling like surprise, joy or sadness. And in the end of the sentence, we have to put an exclamation mark. For assertive, we have to put a full stop. For interrogative, end of the sentence, we put a question mark. For exclamatory, we have to put an exclamation mark. Let's move to the last point, imperative sentences. What do you mean by imperative sentences? It tells someone to do something in the form of advice, command or request. What do you mean by imperative sentence? It is used to give advice, command or request. Already I said that a sentence requires a subject and a verb. But sometimes in imperative sentence, the subject can be hidden and the verb must be present. On the time, the subject is you.
Students, today we have seen chapter number 21, kinds of sentences in grammar. I hope you understood clearly. We will meet on next class with another topic. Thank you.